Let's take a couple minutes and introduce you to the lasso tools. They are located up here, and you have three of them: the lasso tool, the polygonal lasso tool, and the magnetic lasso tool. And they each work a little differently. I don't use them much anymore because Photoshop now has better ways of selecting, but they are helpful from time to time. Let's start with the lasso tool. One of the things that, well, let me show you how it works. Lasso tool, you just use your mouse or your trackpad or tablet and draw a freeform selection. And if you use the Shift key, you can add to the selection. If you use the Alt or Option key, you can subtract from a selection. And if you use both keys, wherever those two intersect with each other will become the selection. And that's helpful when you just want a quick, easy selection. But you know what? It is really hard to draw with a mouse or a trackpad, and it's quite slow. And you know, just not very easy to do. And even with a Wacom tablet, it's hard to draw with this tool. When I get close to the end, I can let go, and there we go. But one of the things that we can do with that is we have the select and mask now in the new Photoshop CC. We can go into select and mask and use this brush tool, which is called the Refine Edge brush. And I'll just make it a little bigger using my right or left bracket keys and just kind of go along that edge. And that will refine this selection. So you just brush away where the thing didn't work. Then of course you can come over here to opacity, see how that selected. I usually keep it about 50%, and I have the view on black right now. This works on onion skin and also on white, so I can see what is selected there. Then I can come down here, Decontaminate Colors, if there's kind of a white fringe around it. If I'm looking on black, for example, I can check and see if there's a white fringe. Actually, there's not on this one, so I really don't need to use that Decontaminate Colors. And then I can output to a selection or a layer mask, new layer with a layer mask, and so forth. I'll just do selection and click OK. And now I have a perfect selection. I'm going to deselect here. And let's show you the polygonal lasso tool. It works by clicking, and then it draws a straight line to wherever you next click. And so when you get close to the end, or if you just double click somewhere, it'll finish that selection off. And when you're in this mode up here in the options bar, you can press the Shift key and add selections, and you can hold the Option key down and subtract selections, or hold both keys down and intersect selections. So this is really good for things with nice straight edges. And you can click around and get you a a pretty good selection that way. Of course, if you're off a little bit, you can use that select and mask again and fix it. The third one is the magnetic lasso tool. And basically what that one does is you get close to the edge, I've got the wrong selection tool there, excuse me. I was going to say that one wasn't working correctly. You get close to the edge and the magnetic lasso tool will try to find that edge for you, but you have to stay pretty close to the edge where you want it to go. But it's kind of cool. It just does a nice magnetic selection. It just goes there and works a lot better than when you're trying to use just the regular lasso tool. So those are the three lasso tools, and basically how they work. We'll look into them a little bit more as we go on through this lesson, but let's go over here and take a look at this witch's hat. So I could use any of those lasso tools to do it, but you know what? Now there is a much easier way, and that is to get your quick select tool and just click on select subject. Photoshop will go to work, and there you have the marching ants. I will click on select and mask, and you can see that it's done an awesome job selecting that. Now if you see things that are going transparent, whoops, need to get the right slider. There we go. So that's done a great job in just a single click. So that's what I would suggest that you'd use now, is try the select subject or some of the other methods, but know those lasso tools are there for you and are great to use when you need them.